Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this.
Yeah.
Welcome to the TD Markets Podcast, episode 11.
Take two.
Take two.
Hope you guys are good, man.
Hey, we took 2 takes, guys, but it's all good. It's all good.
It's all good, yeah. In the previous take, T said we can call it whatever we want, and he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
You guys okay? We hope you're doing well on your side there. Yeah, T?
Yeah. 100%, my man. Happy to be back again with the guys.
Yeah,
It's been a long time coming.
Easter was on the horizon. Lots of holidays.
Lots of things happened since the previous podcast.
Yeah.
But we can talk about it. We'll see how we integrate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're back.
We're back, guys.
We're back. All right. So this episode 11, not alone always.
Yeah, Ashley here, guys. As you guys
100%.
know,
Yeah.
it's already. I mean, we actually going for May. Actually, like for me, I see 15th April, but it's halfway already.
It's halfway. It's done already.
So
my man.
we're basically knocking on May's door.
On May. So
That's
we just have
insane.
1 week left. I think next week and a couple of days after the next week.
Then it's May. Then it's May.
Yeah. It's gone, my man.
It's
you know,
gone.
it's like it's winter now. Whenever March ends, then
Yeah.
just the year just flies.
How's the cold for you, bro?
Because
Because I mean, we're not in the thick of it.
yeah, we're still getting there.
We are still getting there.
Yeah.
So there's like it was raining quite a bit as well.
It was raining.
And then
Yeah.
it was hot like over the weekend. I found it to be extremely hot over the weekend.
Yeah, it was hot. It was hot. I was expecting it to be like this cloudy now
Yeah, same
and
here.
overcast. But you know, I love this weather. You know, I love
Yeah.
like a cold weather. The hot weather, yeah, you know, but it was like it mustn't get unbearable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I love the cold weather. So it's good. It's good. Your
Yeah.
end?
Yeah, for me, you know what? I think over the years, the coldness,
Yeah.
you can dress up and you can
Yeah.
put on many layers.
Yeah, yeah.
And then with the heat, you know,
Yeah, with the heat, my man.
you have to have aircon or
Yeah.
you have to sit at a very high altitude for the wind to
you know, make sure you drink some water.
and
because
water you
it's-
have to stay hydrated,
yeah.
right? Also, but with all the clothing, man, you know, it can also become a serious challenge as well. Eh?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And there are people that, you know, don't mind.
They don't
wearing
mind.
up.
They
Yeah.
don't.
They don't mind wearing up. I think for us guys, you're not thinking about it. It's not something that we think about. You know,
Yeah.
just put on, make sure that we are warm and also presentable.
Yeah.
And then, we go for it.
I'm looking forward to the guys that I'm going to see in the mall in the thick of winter with the short pants and the flip flops
In winter,
in winter, bro.
short pants.
I've seen that thing.
Way.
I've seen it. I've Menland, Maine. I've seen
Really?
it. Yeah, I've seen that thing, man.
Just
You know, so short pants, flip flops, man, and then
Sure.
maybe a long sleeve vest. So it's
Yeah.
like they just don't get cold
Sure.
at the bottom. I don't know, bro. Like, you know, my wife, her feet, she has to be covered in winter.
100%,
It's a
yeah,
problem if
yeah.
she's not, you know.
I mean, also when you try to sleep and then the feet is cold, you can't sleep. I mean, the toes are cold.
And listen, this is reality. You know, this is reality of stuff, guys. We speaking real life stuff. Maybe you there, you watching us, you know exactly what it's at when
Yeah,
you're
they know they can relate. They can relate 100%. You know that you're not gonna sleep when you put in some socks.
Hey, bro, you make me laugh because you're saying it's so formally,
Yeah.
but it's so true.
So true. my
They
man.
can relate. They can
Kids, you
relate.
know. Yeah,
Yes,
man.
man. So you want to jump into it, brother?
Let's jump into it, man. We have another topic we're gonna discuss with the guys
Mm-hmm.
there. But before we do that, make sure that you subscribe. You
Yeah.
follow us on all social media platforms. We do have a great competition, though.
We
let's
do.
talk about the competition.
Yeah, let's 100,000 rand.
100,000 Rand grand prize.
Mm-hmm.
You know, trade the A-way.
The A-way.
Details are on the social media, on our social media, but you wanna take it from there?
Yeah, 100%, bro. 100,000 rand up for grabs, guys. Minimum deposit $200.
Yeah.
And the metric to judge who is the winner will be the highest percentage in profit. I have that right,
Yep,
right?
that's correct.
Highest percentage in profit. So we balance it out nicely. Remember, not everybody has R1 million to put in, or 500,000 or 10,000. Some guys are
Yeah.
running with smaller balances.
Sure.
But if you can be consistent in your percentages, then you stand a chance to win that 100,000, and that's some nice money.
That's some nice money, man. Can change someone's life.
With someone's life, with inflation and interest rates and all of that going by, standard of living, it's high.
Yep.
There's no hard labor required. It's and I think we said it with the CPI. Get into the academy,
You know, fun, get into the academy.
learn.
And then let's hope that you're gonna be top of the chart.
Top of the chart, absolutely. Even
chart.
if you get in, because it ends in June, correct, bro?
Yeah, there's a lot of time. Yeah,
There's
30th
a-
of June.
30th of June.
Yeah.
So even if you get into the top 10 by May, then
Yeah.
you know you're already there.
Yes, yeah.
When June comes in, then you can obviously push
100%
to get into that top
Exactly
3 or
like
top
that,
2.
you know.
Yeah.
They can fund anytime they want, right?
Yeah.
So there's unlimited in terms of funding.
Yes.
$200 the minimum requirement, you know, and get in touch with us, our sessions, TD Markets Academy,
Yes.
and then let's move forward, let's push.
Yeah. Also, maybe just to add on that,
Yeah.
what's going to be key is obviously the strategy here, because that's going to give them that higher percentage in profit. It's not so much the balance.
Yeah, yes,
Even
yeah.
although the balance, you can put more volumes in, you can make
Yep.
more money, 100%. But it's your strategy, guys. It's how you approach the market. It's going to help you here. So getting education is going to be good for that. All right.
100%. So just keep an eye on our social media
Yeah.
for more updates. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's get to the topic for today. So in today's episode, guys, we're talking about habits. Habits a trader need to adapt and a trader need to get rid of.
Yes.
We know that sometimes we just get right into it.
Yeah.
You know, we learn what we need to learn and then we just continue trading. And then there might be some things that you do on the side
Yeah.
that, hinders your progress, in terms of you making profits consistently. So we want to talk about those things because that's very important. I don't think a doctor can have the same habits as
A lawyer.
A lawyer, 100%.
Yeah.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with you
100%.
100%. Habits, very, very interesting topic.
Interesting.
All of us have them,
All of us have one.
good, bad.
Yep.
Let's maybe look at what habits mean, because you know
Sure.
what, when you said to me, Ash, let's chat about habits, in my mind it's like light bulb, brilliant.
Sure.
A lot of beginners have the bad habits.
Of course.
So I just went and I digged a little bit deep into the past history of the word habit. And
Sure.
what I found was the root meaning of habit actually means attire, clothing. Something you put on,
Okay.
which was a nice deep one. You know, we normally go a little bit deep in the
I know.
Fibonacci.
Yeah.
In this, we go, in the Fibonacci, we go
Sure.
38. We're okay to go to the uncertainty level past 61, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
So it means clothing, attire, what you put on.
That's it. An
So I was
interesting one.
saying, okay, so a doctor wears clothing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a tie, they wear the white. What is it? I don't want to say a robe, but
They call it maybe a schmuck. I think schmuck, something like that.
bro,
But yeah,
you,
let's say a
taught,
coat.
you taught me something today. I didn't know that. I just
we have
thought coat.
to, we have to just double check on
With
that. But I know it's called a schmuck.
I'll check it out. But if it's that schmuck thing, no.
Yeah.
But schmuck also means, I think, is also like in a more not street, but more what's the word? Slang. There we go. Slang terms. Schmuck is like a jerk, I believe. It's like, don't be a schmuck. Don't be a jerk. Like don't be so insensitive.
I see,
You see
I
what I'm
see.
saying? So it's going to be interesting. We'll go check it out.
No, we'll check it out.
We'll check it out, guys.
We'll check it out. Yeah, but
So,
let's say it's a coat.
It's
now,
a coat, right? So they wear that attire, and a policeman has attire, uniform. So when you meet up with this individual, you know now how they should behave because of that specific attire.
100%.
That's why when we see videos of police officers on official business with the uniform, people are disgusted by behavior because they see the attire. They're like, for a police officer to be acting like this, or for a doctor to be acting like this, or if we have our TD Market attire and we're out and we're doing crazy stuff which we shouldn't be, people will associate our behavior with the broker now.
yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
So it means clothing and attire, something you put on. But what the word has done, it's evolved now to behavior. So when you put on your clothing, your habit, your coat, you behave in that specific
Certain
way.
way.
So
I see.
habits is now evolved to behavior.
Behavior.
Exactly, bro. And that I found to be very interesting.
I mean, it's interesting. When I thought about it, I never thought that it might be, like clothing.
Clothing, yeah.
We might take it from clothing. But
Yeah.
when you say that, it then evolves to behavior. It
Yes,
makes sense.
it makes sense how
Because
it-
we all understand habits to be our behavior,
Exactly.
behavior patterns.
Point, 100%.
100%, yeah.
As the guys would say, clean. That's a new word that I also learned.
Clean.
Yeah, clean. It was in one of the guys that belonged to TD Markets. One of our business developments guys
Yeah.
said that the broker's clean. So I asked, what does clean mean? He said, it's top notch, 100%.
Ah.
So now I've started to adapt to
Hey man, you're gonna have to learn these words, man. Hey, we're a little bit behind.
a little bit behind with it's clean.
And I think there's so much words that we need to learn as well.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, but it's all good. So habit behavior, right?
Yes. Clothing behavior.
Clothing behavior.
Behavior, part of culture. You behave like your culture. You behave like who you associate yourself with.
Yeah.
You associate with people that are not determined. Your behavior comes out that way, unless you choose differently, obviously, which we know choices are to be made. So attire, clothing, behavior. Behavior stems from association. Association is by choice in certain instances. Unfortunately, sometimes people can't control where they were born. What school they needed to attend, because maybe affordability demanded they can only go there.
Yeah.
So we understand that. But in that system of behavior, there's also choices who you surround yourself with there.
Of course, yeah.
You see, so there's that choice element
Yeah.
will always be
Will
there.
always be
It
there,
will
yeah.
always be there. Yeah.
All right. And then now you were doing research about it, right? And obviously you went on with it to its evolving and
Yeah.
all of that. So what is the last thing that you like, according to your research, what is the last thing that you got with habit?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in relation to this topic, having done all of that, the conclusion was what kind of behavior should a trader adapt to?
Yeah.
You see, so now that I know that it's clothing, it's attire, it's a way you think, your behavior is affected by how you think. Now let's relate that. How should a beginner behave? Because how you are a beginner will determine how advanced or what kind of an advanced trader you are.
Yep.
If you're a lazy beginner,
Yeah.
I don't even think you're gonna get to advanced.
It's gonna be difficult.
It's going to be more, exactly. So it can take you 10 years to become advanced. So how you begin, your habit, how you begin, ends up becoming how you also exit. And that's something I actually heard. I was probably 17 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was said, how you begin something is normally how you end it. So
Which makes sense.
yeah, so if you're going to begin slow, you might also finish slow. If you begin fast, you might finish fast, which is, I think, subjective to certain conditions.
I was about to say, yeah.
Exactly, because some people start slow, but then they get a boost.
Then they get momentum.
And it's exponential growth. So I think it's subjective to the situation.
Of course, yeah.
But generally speaking, if you are lazy to study, the result is imminent.
it will show.
It will show.
Result will show.
Exactly. Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that's exactly what you're going to talk about, guys. All right. So those behaviors, those habits, traders need to, because, I know that sometimes we tend to have bad habits, but we're not aware that they are bad habits, especially when you're trying to accomplish something or when you're in a journey. Only later we then tend to find out that, okay, but what I've been doing,
Yeah.
it's hindering my progress.
Yeah.
So that's what I want us to talk about.
Okay.
There's so many videos, people are doing videos on this habits. And I think between you and I, we're going to talk about what worked for us.
Yeah.
Maybe something that you've been doing, we got rid of it, and then we saw, okay, there's a bit of progress here. 100%.
So before we get into the trading habits,
Yeah.
give me one or two bad habits you have in general.
In general,
Like, and then I'll also share like one or two,
better what?
Yeah,
what-
but don't go too
yeah.
deep now for Banachi, because the guy, because now, guys, we're not going too deep. Eh?
Let's keep it. Let's
We
keep it to the
surface.
shallow. Yeah.
Give it to the shallow side, the flat side.
I think my bad habit. I've got a lot, but I think my bad habit is trying to think of this past weekend. I think is there we go. That's a bad habit. So this habit, I got rid of it, but now I'm doing it again.
It came back.
It came back. I
These
think
things-
is before I sleep, I'm on my phone.
Okay.
I think to me that's a bad habit, because I saw when I got rid of this habit, my man, I slept well. The type of dreams I had and all of that. So when I consume something on my phone and I'm in bed on my phone and then I sleep, there's something that's happening with what I saw when I consumed. So to me, that's a bad habit that I'm gonna get rid of.
Yeah.
Definitely.
One of mine is being helped now. Okay, but the moment I get home,
Yeah.
right, I sit and I take off my shoes in the lounge. Like
Yeah.
my wife,
She's
she's
gonna have a
like,
problem.
"Is that your wardrobe?" And I take it, I put it where it should be.
Yeah.
But it's like I just get, because I like to speak. I love communication.
Sure.
And I believe that's, as many do, I believe you also believe that.
Yeah.
For relationships to survive,
Yeah.
one of the key pillars is you
important.
must speak. So I can't wait to speak. And when I get home, it's, hey, so how's it? And I kiss my boy, my girl, my wife, and so forth. And we get to talking.
Sure.
Speaking about the day and,
Yeah.
and how it was and so forth. And in that, I sit.
And are you aware of it when you're doing it? You're not aware of it.
She's the one that makes me aware.
Exactly.
She just looks one time and then I'm still busy untying. Whilst I'm speaking, I'm untying and she just looks at when I look down, I'm like, hey, I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm again doing that same thing. So my shoes, the moment I get home, brother.
Now imagine that, right? Imagine you're not aware of that. You're doing it. And then imagine your wife's not saying anything. But now she's not saying anything. And then it keeps, she gets angry more and more.
Yeah.
Imagine what that will do to your relationship.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Now in trading, imagine, what can happen.
Got you, brother.
Those bad habits.
Got you.
My man.
I just to let you know, by leaving it, there was a time I had like 4 pairs of shoes in the lounge because
it?
I had forgotten that I'd taken it off and I go about my business.
Sure.
And so by the end of, when I realized
Yeah.
I had 4 pairs that was
Sure.
there, and they were in different places, by the way, So that's one of my,
Yeah.
that I need to really be cognizant of.
Yeah, man. So that's my bad habit. I want to get rid of, what I used to do, I think in 2021, when I got to bed, my phone is far away from me. Yeah. And then I would spend like an hour before I sleep just to clear my mind, clear
Got
my
you.
thoughts, and then sleep.
Got you.
And then, my man, I remember my sleep would be proper. Well, I would enjoy my sleep.
You don't even need an alarm clock or what?
No, that I needed it, but in
Okay.
terms of just, when you wake up and then you had a good night's sleep. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now, when you have a phone, when you go to sleep, when you wake up, it's like something rushed you to wake up.
Yeah.
So you don't wake up the way you want to wake up.
I know. I've also read about these guys and seen these guys are saying no, they don't need an alarm clock because their bodies are so tuned into the time they wake up.
Yeah, I know someone that told me that.
You see
Trust
that?
me.
And so like it's a habit. Their body wakes up at that specific
Hey,
time,
man.
and that's levels, bro. For
Hey,
me personally, I still need an alarm clock.
Hey, I want to have that, like that body clock that just wakes you. At a
that's what it's
specific
called,
time
body.
you just wake up.
Body clock,
I
yeah.
need that. I want that.
All right.
But anyway, so habits. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about the 5
Yeah.
habits we think you should adapt, and the
Adapt.
5 you should get rid of.
Should get rid of, yeah.
So I'm going to talk about the ones I think you should get rid of, and obviously the ones that you should.
That to adapt, yeah. All right.
So which one must you start with?
They normally ask, do you want good news or bad news, right? What do people normally choose?
Bad news first.
Yeah, they normally choose
Yeah,
bad news.
okay,
Let's go with not to get rid of.
All right, so I've got bad news for you guys. All right, so let us have a look at this. So not in any particular order.
Yes,
right?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
not in any
We're
particular
not ranking them, yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the first one here. I think one of the bad habits we tend to do is and this is not also something trading related, but just in general. I know that we're on social media, we like social media and all of that. But now think of someone that follows a lot of traders on social media, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Right? Follow their trades, what they do, and all of that. And then you learn how to trade, you learn a strategy, right? And then you trade a strategy, and then you find that for the first week, the strategy didn't provide you with a trade. It's fine that those things happen. And then come the second week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's no trade according to your strategy. Maybe on Thursday, you'll find a trade. For a beginner, during that time of waiting, what are they going to do? They're going to want to open their social media, look at the traders, what they trade in. And then they would want to now trade what they trade in, not following the strategy. So I think that on its own, it's a bad habit. Now, trying to follow
Other people.
other people not knowing why they traded GBP USD, right? You're
Got
not
you.
looking at that pair, but you want to go and trade it. So number one is when you're learning a strategy, try to stay away from social media because there's a lot of noise now, right? You want to learn a strategy without noise, fully understand it, fully know how it works
Yeah.
through different market conditions. And then when you know how it works, then you can look at other traders because you have some sort of method that you're going to use to trade. So what I would say, number one, try to stay away from social media when you learn a strategy. Avoid the noise. All right.
Okay.
Now, the second one here, I think,
So you'll do 2, I'll do 2, no?
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
do you do 2, I do 2.
100%,
So we can get to the
100% proper, yeah. Now, the second one here is now the bad habit that you need to get rid of is look at what you do during the weekends, right? Let me unpack that further. As I said, a doctor would behave differently to a lawyer. During the weekends, doctors behave a certain way.
Yes,
that is in line with their work.
Got you.
I don't think a doctor during the weekend would drink knowing that at 6 o'clock they have to be at work. I don't think that's going to be possible. So look at what you do during the weekend. There might be some things that you do that'll take you off the, sort of like to say the lane, take you off the lane in a sense that you might be doing something and then you might completely forget about your routines, maybe what you do that is going to be in line with your trading.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not explaining it properly, but I'll explain it properly.
I understand what you mean. Yeah.
So just take a look at what you do during the weekend. I know that we want to relax during the weekend. We've been trading. We want to cool off. But in cooling off, try not to forget. Try not to forget your setups, your strategy and all of that. Try not to forget those
and
things.
Then you have a Sunday panic because normally guys like on a Sunday, it's work on Monday, so they go into panic mode. I've spoken to so many people, right? That they have anxiety on a Sunday, like when it hits like 3 p.m. Then they feel like, oh my word, it's work in next. So their mind goes into a panic. At 6 p.m. it's already Monday for them.
It's already Monday.
So they're living in Monday on Sunday. That is hectic, bro.
That's hectic, my man.
That's hectic.
Now see, then anxiety may come from what you did the day before.
And you didn't follow through. You didn't stay on path.
Exactly. There we go. On path.
You didn't stay on the path.
And when it comes to trading, it's important that especially when you're a beginner, when you're learning this thing, your weekends have to change. You need to have different weekends now.
You're right, yeah.
What I did is I stopped chilling with my friends on weekends when I was learning this thing because I could see, man, the conversations we would have on a weekend is not something that I want to have at that point.
Doesn't stimulate you, right?
Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
And here I am, I'm focused on cracking this thing, learning this thing, but now I'm chilling with people with different mindset.
They speaking about
others. Trust me, I'm totally different things.
Yes.
So I stopped chilling with them and I think that was the best thing I could do. Like I did for myself. Yeah, try to do those things,
Okay.
Try, it needs to, your weekends need to be different now, not forgetting. If you saw a setup on Friday, you want to take it on Monday, try your best not to forget about your thought process within that setup, what you saw, so that on Monday when it comes, you don't have anxiety.
Yeah. All right. So it's stay within the path. One.
Yeah.
So get rid of the noise over the weekend, basically.
Get rid of the noise. Yeah.
All
Even
right.
during the week, get rid of it.
And number 2, don't run after people's analysis and you don't know why they're doing what they're doing.
That's the most important one.
All right.
Yeah.
So to add to that basket and what you should do or can do or should adapt to, number 1, develop a new habit of thinking. Which aligns with what you've just mentioned now, right? Yeah. So this is why I said, I don't want to tell people what to think. Like, I don't personally like telling people what to think.
Okay. Yeah.
But what I like to do is I like to question how they think. Because how I think about a problem versus how you think about a problem, we can come up with 2 different answers. So teaching people how to think, you should learn now. How is a new way of thinking for me? So here's an example. So what I do is there are 8 clocks during a day, right? So from midnight to 3 p.m., 3 a.m., that's 3 hours. From 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. is another 3 hours. So that's a quarter there. And then from 6 a.m. to 9, it's the third quarter of the day.
Yeah.
And then obviously the last one is to midday. So that's 4.
Sure.
All right. Then it goes PM now.
Yeah.
So essentially there's 8 clocks in a day. Yeah. So how I think in clocks. If someone asks me what's your day like, I'll be able to tell them exactly. Like they say, can you come for a meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m.? I will know that's the 4th clock of the day. I'm sorry, I can't. That clock is full. I can move it to the the 5th clock, which is now the afternoon, and I can come at 1 p.m. So how I have processed that over the years has helped me put structure to what I do. So it also gets in alignment with trading, that there's sessions during the day. And you'll find that the Tokyo session and the Sydney session is running through the first 3 clocks of the day. You see what I'm saying? So I know that if I'm going to do analysis for the first 3 clocks of the day, I might not take the trade in it because there's a lot of consolidation that also happens during the morning hours. But then come, which is now 1, 2, 3, the 4th clock at 9 a.m. That's when the European, the London session, we start seeing movement now. So my trading is from 9 a.m. and I will stretch it now to the last, there's 6 p.m.
Sure.
Which we now ending off the clocks there, you see. So the 2 last clocks is from 6 p.m., 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And then from 9 p.m. to midnight. Those are the last 2. So I won't always take a trade in the last clock.
I see.
From 9 p.m. to midnight because that's when things just slow down.
Yeah, all right.
And so how I think in that specific way gives me structure. It helps me plan studies. So now I can even say, no, in the 4th clock of the day, which is from 9 a.m. to midday, I can put in an hour of reading trend lines. I can put in 30 minutes of that clock, that 3 hours there. I can put in something about support and resistance or watching a video or something like that. That's in alignment with what I'm trying to achieve.
Sure. Get you.
So it's not telling people what to think, but how to think. That makes a world of a difference. So that habit must be in there. You must change the way or how you think, and you'll see that there'll be greater success. So structure your thinking, Number 2, in that thinking now, there must be a habit of continuous learning. Now, many guys, I think, when they say continuous learning, they say never stop studying, always learn knowledge. Oh, but what's the structure of that though? Like how do we break it down? Continuous learning. So I like to use example the Fibonacci, all right, in my mind to say, if I'm going to learn about support and resistance, in there are levels to that.
Sure.
There's a 23-point area. Am I sticking there? So, but if I continue my learning, I'm going to the 38.
Sure.
If I go deeper, I'm going to the 50. So I dig inside like a funnel almost, the depth of a specific topic. And I thread it through so that I have a larger bank of knowledge. What I always tell the guys in our session is that there's information. Information is raw data that you can get anywhere. Remember, we use 5 to 6% of the internet anyway. There's more than that, but that's what we use, right?
Yeah.
So that right there, information turns into knowledge because it's now a collected bank of information. And you structure each topic accordingly. So I know in my knowledge of support and resistance, I have topics with different ways of looking at support and resistance. That makes it a bank.
Sure.
And so from that, I can do a withdrawal of understanding. So understanding is the withdrawal of the knowledge bank. And once I've made the withdrawal, which is understanding, now I go to application, which is paying. Basically, we'll buy whatever, perfume or car. Whatever. So I'm applying the withdrawal that I've actually just taken from my bank of knowledge.
Nice.
You see, so the continuous learning is how deep do I want to go in that specific topic? And to be honest, just like the fib, we are running at 38 and 50. If it goes to a deep retracement at 61, it's a universal level where a retracement can go to. But then something hectic happens. Maybe there was a very big impulse to the upside on the left, and the right is giving that same thrust to the downside, which goes to the 60%. But let's say it's been moving up systematically, all right? Not such a aggressive push to the upside. You'll generally see it float between the 23, 38, 50%, and then it starts to move up again. So majority of the time, people will stop at 23, 38, and 50. And then they don't go deeper than that. You see, so now you ask them, they'll give you nice answers. And you find beginners do that. They can tell, they can define a level, a key level, and they sound like they know what is going on, but they haven't gone through the understanding and the application, which is actually going deeper down. So continuous learning, there must be levels, and that's a habit that they have to actually put in place for them to become
Sure.
successful. I hope I explained that.
My man, you broke it down.
Broke it down, right?
Yeah, you broke it down, my man. And it makes sense, especially when you know make an example with the Fibonacci there, just to understand the levels to this thing.
The
my
level,
man.
yeah.
That it's important that you just try and get deeper for you to
Get deeper.
understand. And
Exactly.
it's gonna help you with application as well.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
100%. All right.
Okay. So you still have 3 left there. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And then now let us continue now. So on the third one that I would think is, what I did when I was learning this is, I stopped chilling with my friends.
Okay.
Stopped chilling with my friend, and I had more time now to learn and just to master this thing. I remember before I went to sleep, I had a lot of material that I would study at the time or whatever, look at the charts. But before I sleep, I would make sure that I look at the chart before I sleep.
Okay.
Right. Let's say I was keeping an eye on Euro USD throughout the day, trying to pick something out of it or trying to learn something out of it. I make sure that before I sleep, I quickly look at it and then I can sleep. Because now when I wake up, I'll still remember what I saw previously, right? Just like when you read a book. When you read a book before you sleep, trust me, when you wake up, that information that you read, mama, you'll be able to interpret it, to understand it, basically something like that, right? That's what I did when I slept. I would just look at what I need to read or look at the strategy or look at the chart. And then in the next day, I would have a plan on what I'm going to do. So I would say, they must try looking into that, right?
Okay.
Try looking into that so that you are in par and in line with what you want to achieve out of that.
Okay, got you.
I hope it makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So then let me then add to that.
Yeah.
And talk about the completion or get into the habit of completing risk management, and how important it is, like, to know your balance, how much you are able to risk, because you know what,
Very
bro.
important.
What I've seen, and I'm going to use a normal example that everybody will understand when you go to the mall.
Yeah.
Let's say you have a 5,000 rand. You go to the mall and you want to buy a shoe. You get there and you're the guy. You have 5,000 and so forth, and you want to buy something nice, and you sit and you're looking at. Now you went in looking for something specific. You want a brown shoe.
Yeah.
No lace. It's a slip, right? Now you get there and you see the slip, but then right next to it, or at least,
else.
or three shelves away, you see this laced one, but just it's got a shiny tip.
Looks proper.
And you're like, hey, but there's 1,000 rand extra. So the one you wanted to buy is 2 grand, but now you see that one there and it's 1.5 more.
Okay.
Which means essentially you're spending 3,500.
Yeah.
Right? Which means you only have a certain balance left there, right? Now you're like, but I came in here. I came in here and this one is within the price range.
Yep.
But what motivates you to get the one that's now 1,500 extra is how you perceive yourself and how you think people will perceive you if you wear that one. Which is the reality of things.
It is.
There's no human being that can say, hey, listen, I'm going to look better in that one. I look better in that color. I look better in that car. I look better with that ring, with that. We are human.
Of course.
Yes, there's people, they don't necessarily invest all their money in it. But to an extent, every human being will say, I think I'd look better in turquoise. I think I'd look better in that, right?
Yeah.
So risk management, you must know yourself. I have $500. Get into the habit of saying, how do I risk my $500? Do I risk it per position or do I risk it in total? So example, you take your $500, you say per position, I risk 2% of $500. So let's say I have 5 positions, in each of them will be 2% of the balance. Or do I take 500 and I say I'm going to put in one trade of 10% or one trade of 2%?
Okay.
You have to ask yourself that and say, do I know myself? Or do you get swayed by the 1,005? Because now that trade, GBP USD, you were tracking Euro USD, like you were saying. But now GBP USD also looks, hey man, it's shimmering with gold. You're like, yes, yeah, I'm going to make money here.
Yeah.
You already calculated and said, listen, I'm going to spend only 2% of my $500, but GBP USD looks good. So what do? You say, I'm going in heavy by GBP USD because I've heard T and Ash say correlation.
Hey.
They've taught us that, listen, if it's correlating, you can have 2 or 3. Yeah, sorry, guys, I'm getting a bit passionate there. But you can have 2 or 3, positions in there. You go against your risk management, so you got to get into the habit of saying, if this was my setup, I'm only doing 2% there. You stick to that. You have to get into that habit. That I thought is a very important one there.
Look, my man, risk management is very important, my man. And these are things that happen where you know specifically what you're gunning for, and then at the moment you shift your eyes and see something else, it might then cause a problem. Look, we need to just have an episode where we talk about risk management.
Just risk
because
bites,
it's very
yes,
important.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, that's a very, 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 very good habit.
Yeah.
All right, so
you're number 4 now.
Yeah, I'm number 4.
4 to get rid of. Yeah.
All right, another habit to get rid of. so we spoke about following other people.
Other people. 1. Number 2, your
Stop
weekends.
that.
Your weekends have to shift.
Yeah, maybe have routines there.
Routines, yeah.
Right? You also added to that as well.
Yes, I added to that.
So the third one, no, I'm on the 4th one, right?
You're on the 4th one.
So the third one was Snap. What was the third one?
Third one was in terms of the amount of time that you spend.
Oh yeah, no. I said, I stopped chilling with.
That was number 2.
Okay, number 3 was before I sleep.
Yes. So you will look at a specific setup.
Yeah.
And you want to get rid of moving in between too many things. If that's the one that you set your eyes on,
focus on it.
So you know what to do the next day, because so you get rid of looking at too many and focus on the one. Yeah.
There we go. There was the third one.
Yeah.
All right. Now the 4th one, guys. Right. I know. Yeah. This one might be a little bit controversial. No, okay, not that, but it might sound somehow. So we know that there's fundamental analysis, right, and technical analysis. So now let's say you're looking at a setup, looking at a proper setup according to your technicals, your structure, your strategy.
Yeah.
It's lining up.
Yeah.
All right. And you can take the trade right there. You can, because the confirmations are there. But now there might be something that's stopping you taking a trade, and it might be you thinking, okay, what are the fundamentals saying? Now I'm saying this, my man, to say that there are some setups where you don't have to look at fundamentals, and you can still make a profit on the setup. It can still go.
Yeah.
But now there are some time where we look at the technicals and then we say, okay, everything's looking good. And then we try to look at the fundamentals. And what's going to happen? They're going to tell us a different story.
A different story. Absolutely.
A different story.
Yes. Bro, that was in the trading room last week. The dollar, the gold was strengthening, but the dollar was strengthening against the currencies, but the metal, it was weakening.
Look, my man, this thing tends to happen.
Yes.
Now, imagine now you're a beginner. You don't know the information that we have, of course, and then you're stuck there. Now, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What I'm trying to say is, if you believe, I know that there's different traders. Some will look at fundamentals as well. Some will look at only technicals, but you can still make profits with technicals.
You can.
Right.
Absolutely.
Now, I want the guys to understand that it's not a must for you to look at fundamentals all the time.
You know what? Bro, you are saying something controversial.
Yeah, sure.
And I respect that, because many people think that you can't trade technicals without fundamentals. But
many believe that.
Many do. And they're within their right to do that,
sure.
because they have
with
justified why they believe that.
Sure.
But there's guys that only look for high impact NFP, CPI, and they actually trade it. Sorry to jump in there, bro.
Sure, no
but
problem.
so they look for only CPI, NFP, and they trade those fundamentals twice a month. But they put full margin. They go very heavy, and they make like 150,000 Rand as an example. So they don't need to trade every single day or look for any technical setups.
Yeah, sure.
Because they're only trading those 2 events or 3 events, unemployment claims or GDP figures, whatever.
There might be
right?
some things,
it might be something else. But then guys, technicals, they don't trade any fundamentals. They leave when it's high impact, they stay out.
They don't do anything.
They don't do anything. They wait for it to actually die down.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with also trading your normal technicals and the NFPs.
Exactly.
That's what we do.
That's what we do, yes.
Yeah. But now, looking at a beginner who now understand what fundamentals technical is, right? But now, they are focused on getting the consistency from their strategy before they can break the rules.
Yeah.
Right. So to say. So what I'm saying is, you know, if you spot a setup and then it's aligning with what you know, you know, you don't have to always go and check what the fundamentals are saying.
Yes.
You can take it according to what you see the technicals, boom.
Exactly.
Right. So I'm saying it might be a bad habit where you constantly now going to check, where you might miss the opportunity.
The opportunity because you saw it's two different stories.
See? Yeah.
And so that delay in the technicals happens because of the fundamentals.
Yeah.
But when the fundamentals is done, it goes in the direction that you...
It follows its structure.
It follows the structure.
The thing you spoke about in the trading room where we saw that the dollar was going to get strong. But now news came up and then I saw AUD/USD went up for a little bit.
Yes.
USD went up for a little bit, you know. And I know you told the guys that, hey, look, the trend is still bearish.
It's still bearish. The structure is still there.
The structure is still bearish. You're going to follow that. If you look at those charts now, they dropped.
They dropped, bro. Yes, man.
They dropped.
All of them.
All of them. GBP/USD dropped. EUR/USD dropped.
AUD, NZD/USD. And I actually chatted about the opening bell.
Yeah.
That NZD/USD. There's still selling opportunities there, even
there, my
after
man.
CPI.
Yeah, still there.
Exactly.
You know, my man, you know, those charts, like I know how they're trading right now because I've been looking at them, you know. It's still going to drop. We're still looking for the drop on NZD/USD.
Yes.
AUD/USD too.
Yes.
But now we'll talk about that. It's fine.
So the fourth one there on for you is then get rid of being influenced by when you see a different story. Stick to what is that what you're saying? So stick to what you've studied, analyzed. That's the setup.
Yeah.
And even if you do see a different story, still remember the structure stands.
Yeah. And
Okay.
also on that, there's nothing wrong for them to check the fundamentals.
Yes, there's nothing wrong. Yeah.
But now the problem then becomes when you get stuck now between the fundamentals and the technicals, because fundamentals, they might show you a different story now.
Yeah.
Whereas your technicals in real time,
in real time.
they're showing you that the market is going to move this way. Right. So it might be a bad habit to an extent, but try to get rid of that for now.
Yes.
And then find consistency in understanding your strategy, your setups, until a time where you can now bring in fundamentals.
Yes. So from a psychological level, for me personally, that makes so much sense because guys panic. They see the buy and then they panic when they see the fundamentals go against or it's not the same news that they thought and they don't know what to do. So they're basically just sitting there and they don't get in the market at all because of those two different stories. Like, okay, got you. 100%.
Yeah.
With you. All right.
Yeah, and it happens, man. Every week that can happen.
Bro, every single week, yeah?
Yeah. So as I said,
you.
guys, there's nothing wrong with looking at the fundamentals, but try to understand what you saw first before you can go check, and try to understand that fundamentals might give us a different picture, right?
Yeah.
So just look into that.
All right. Okay. So that's your four there. Let me give you my fourth one here. A habit of discipline.
Go for it.
Now, this habit of discipline, T, most people think, okay, I'm generalizing, all right? I'm just generalizing, all right? So forgive me, guys. Discipline is, example, defined by Mike Tyson. He'd say, discipline is doing something that you don't want to do, but doing it like you want to do it.
There you go.
Right.
Sorry to cut you in. Also, David Goggins. David Goggins.
Yes. Yeah.
But continue.
Yeah, that guy, he's
He's a
hectic.
beast, man.
He's a beast.
He's hectic. Yeah, David Goggins.
He said he once ran with a shattered shin, like his bones or something because of running so long and it shattered and he ran with that. He just put tape around it. Bro, that's some hectic stuff. I don't think, I don't know.
That's next level
That's
thing,
next
man.
level, bro.
But
So habit of discipline, not necessarily defined in that way, which is very psychological, it's very motivational, it's very inspiring. It kind of moves you to want to do it if you see guys speak like that. But discipline in the sense, so this is how I define discipline, right? For me personally, it's the constant practice of self-correction. The constant practice of self-correction. That's how I define for myself discipline.
And the key, the constant.
The constant, yes, of self-correction, looking where I went wrong. Let me practice getting it right consistently over and over. So I got the wrong entry. Okay, let me go back and practice. Why did I get it? And in the beginning, in my first 2-3 years, if I lost money on the live, I'll go to the demo.
Very important. What you just said there is very important, moment.
I went to the demo
Sure. Yeah.
and I did my setup. I took the trade and I try to see where I went wrong because I don't see the point in risking a whole bunch of money when I don't have it 100% yet. You know, so let me be smart. Let me keep my balance. That's why the demonstration account is there.
My man.
You see, do we say you use it all the time? There's different psychological levels to it. You and I both know it's not the same thing. When you make money, it motivates you to want to learn more. But there's the double-edged sword, like leverage, you know, enhance profits or you can make losses. So if you're making profits on your live account, greed can set in and now you make a loss. On all the profits that you've done, now you can lose because of greed.
Yeah.
So in as much as it's motivating, it can also be a depreciating thing, right?
Sure.
So habit and discipline would be, and I'm specific in this, where learn to exit when the market moves against you. Have that discipline to say, this trade is moving against me. Get out. Cut your losses.
Cut your losses.
Cut your losses, whether it's $50, it's better losing 50 than 500. Because greed sets in and be like, nah, this thing's going to turn. This is going to turn. This is going to turn. $100 in deficit, 150, 200. Now you're panicking. Now you're calling T. Listen, man, I went into Euro USD. I don't know what's going on. T, you know what? Ash, what do you think? Now you're going with so many people. Now you say to him, hey, man, listen, I don't think this thing's going to go up now. It's going to drop. He comes to me. I say, hey, you know what? There's a support level. It might just turn there. Now there's hope that sets in because hope has to do with the future. So now he hopes, but he doesn't know what he's doing. The strategy is not, it's not to the T yet. He hasn't detailed it down. So now who do you listen to? Because you don't know. Someone that doesn't know will take what other people know. But if you know, you'll do what you know. Sure. Right? So the discipline of saying, I'm demarcating the zone where I exit. If it drops below that point, I'm out.
Out. You know, you even accept the loss.
You accept it, but beacon it, reference it. You have to put your level there. Write it, put a label there. Get out if I drop. And you put exclamation mark 100%. So that thing can ring in your head that you get out. And I don't think that people they exercise that because you know why? Society sometimes puts it in you. I'm not a loser. I never lose. I'm on the winning team. Let's be frank, man. Everybody loses. Man.
Of course.
You know, the moment I hear that, I always win. Or I hate losing. That's when you get humbled. That's when you say, I don't lose, you get humbled. Because those tests come.
Yeah, and also you don't know when they're going to come.
You don't know when they come. So now you're on your high horse, as an example. You've done 100. That's why all these boxes. You know, I think they take very long to have a fight these days. Because back in the day, the guys, Tyson and them, they were fighting more than 20 fights a year.
Jesus.
Now the guys are fighting 2 fights a year. One fight a year, 1 every 2 years, or 3 every 2 years. Because I think they speak so much. Yeah, you know, I'm this, I'm that. So they have to watch their opponent. They take time to watch their opponent so carefully to try and find a weakness.
But isn't it also, I hear what you're saying, but isn't it also because of how the world is right now? As an example, Mayweather, he's not fighting now, right? But we know Mayweather to fight maybe just once in a year.
Once in a year, yeah.
Or maybe twice in a year.
Yes.
And I think for him, also it has to do with the investment, with the money that he's going to get maybe out of it.
Out of it, yes.
So Mike Tyson, back in the days, there was not a lot of money in the sport, right? So they would fight, focus on the craft, fight, when you be the best. But now you can still be the best and still make money.
Yes.
At the same time.
Yes.
So if you see, if I fight this guy and it's worth 5 million.
Yeah.
If I win, then I don't need to fight throughout the year.
Yes.
I'm sorted. Maybe next year again.
Next year again. Okay, 100%.
Yeah.
Now, on that example of Mayweather, I like Money May.
100%.
Like
Who
his
doesn't?
craft.
He's proper.
You know, but there are guys that have beaten his record.
Yeah, sure.
There are guys that have done 0 and like 80 fights, no losses at all. But he is brilliant at branding. He's brilliant at marketing and promoting. So they know him because of his ability to highlight himself, you know? And then there's technicals like, how did he win? Some guys will say he didn't fight guys in their prime. Like Canelo as an example.
Okay.
So he fought Canelo when Canelo Alvarez was not in his prime as an example. So now they'll say if he fought Canelo in his prime, he might not have won. So you see that the technicality.
Yeah.
So if you say you're always winning, Let's define how you win. Let's not just say you're winning. Let's not put a blank canvas. It's the same as if you're making a high percentage in profit, like our trading.
Of course,
the A-way. So we had a Mayweather moment there. So if you're going to be trading the A-way, then you must define how you're going to attain your highest percentage in profit. Now, one can look at it like this. You're making $200 and you took 5 trades on each of them. So that's 1,000 profit, right?
Yeah.
But now here's another guy that comes and says, I'm not looking to make $200. I'm going to trade 100 positions. I'll just make $2 or $3 profits. See? It's all, you see, how are you getting to that? So the discipline of exiting the market, you have to get that thing. Cut your losses, because then you still win. You still win.
Yeah, sure.
If you cut your losses, you didn't lose all of your balance.
Sure.
So I hope I got that one there, bro.
Yeah, you still win in a sense that, you made an example that it's better to lose $50 than $500.
Exactly.
So imagine you cut losses on $50.
Yeah.
I mean, you can recover it.
You
on
can
the next
recover.
trade.
Exactly. Reevaluate, check your position.
Exactly.
Maybe there's a different asset. Leave that one alone.
Yeah.
Go to something else.
100%. All right.
All right.
And
So
then let's get to
it
the
drum
final
rolls
one.
5-5 now.
Let's get to the final one now. Now remember, guys, these things are not in any particular order.
Yes.
Right? So you might find that number 5 that you're going to talk about is actually the top one of the list. So,
Yeah.
So the last one for me, my man, is actually, so I'm talking about the habits to get rid of, I almost said the one that you need to adapt. So the 5th one is, there's a lot of markets we can trade, a lot of different markets we can trade. We have a lot of options we can trade, and I think it goes back to your example of being disciplined. I think I'm going to talk about the same thing.
You're going to thread it through there.
Yeah. So now there's a lot of, if they open the market to us, there's a bunch of things that we need to trade. But remember, for you to make money doesn't mean that you must trade everything.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's a fact, right? So now if someone find themselves stuck in what to look at, what to trade, try to just have a few pairs to focus on. I think it's a bad habit to constantly want to change pairs every now and then. I think it's a bad habit, But if you focus just on a few, and I think we spoke about this on another podcast.
Yes, we did. You're right.
If you just focus on just a few pairs that you wanna look at, trust me, you are gonna find, and not only find, but you'll understand how they move. You understand how these setups came about. Because if you try to then hop over these charts, and also the time, it happens with also the time frame, man, where you go to constantly switch between different time frames. So with the pairs, stick to just a few ones. Get rid of the habit of constantly changing until when you're gonna change.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that, bro. So it ties into the correlation, because you mentioned now, if you trade 3 at a time, and I think we use dollar index, euro, USD, and gold. And we said if you just study those 3, you'll always have opportunities.
Always.
Because if the gold goes down, euro, USD goes down, the dollar index goes up. So that's 1 buy and 2 sells, basically, that will happen in that. 100%. I totally agree with that, bro. So it actually reminds me of my kids. And I love to use them as an example to say that they are both children, but they have different characters.
There we go. Exactly.
And so their behavior, their habits are different in a sense, My boy is very out there, but then he has a side of where he observes.
Okay.
So my wife will say he's like you, Ash, because he can be out there and he can be, when he needs to be, but then there's this observation mode as well, where it's just quiet and you're watching.
Sure.
Now, my daughter is more observation from a percentage perspective. The balance is not as tight as with my son. She observes far more. Even if she doesn't like something, she'll just observe it. And given the chance, she will come and she'll express, this is what I saw 2 months ago. But then she's been observing it. My son right there then will be like, I know that, he shows he's not happy with it already at such a young age.
Yeah.
So just knowing their behavior is very interesting, and I think it goes back to connecting it with the pairs there. I hope
Exactly.
I hope I understand you right in that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that way, because these pairs have different also characters, behaviors.
Yes.
You know, it's important. So when they hop on every of these currency pairs, they will then miss how they move. They will
Yeah.
then miss learning how their character is and all of that. And it takes a bit of time.
It takes time, yeah.
So when they stick to these pairs, just follow them each and every day. They will then understand, okay, GBP, JPY, every time it does this, it's likely going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time, sorry, seen it happen almost of the time. That's how now you start learning the behavior of
Yeah.
this. You take a look at gold and silver. You see that silver, it gives us the sharp movements when it's in an impulse. It really goes.
It goes,
gold,
nah?
Yeah, gold can still create a bit of structure before it
Yes.
goes. Those things.
It bro, you know what? You actually going much deeper than what this. You know, hey bro, you're going to that fib again now because you unplugging and unlocking some things. Yeah, if I may share, right?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
It's like relationships, like to me now the way.
Yeah.
Like I had this thing a couple of weeks ago or so. I said, I'm really not interested in people's opinions and narratives anymore. I'm interested in meaningful relationships. But to have a meaningful relationship, like you have to be open-minded and understand the other person. Take the time to learn the other person and not think about what you just want from that specific exchange. And that becomes meaningful.
There we go. Yeah.
Now, in exactly the same way, you got to slow things down because everything is quick, right? But if you want a meaningful relationship, you have to slow yourself down, take the time to actually listen to what the individual is saying. Same with a currency pair. Slow it down
Exactly.
and stop trying to see the profits, but look at the behavior that can give you the profits.
Exactly.
So every time you're saying that, like everything that you've explained,
Yeah.
it's literally taking me to that. I want meaningful relationships. Let me slow it down. Let me look at the behavior. When I say, example, if I come to you 3 minutes before a stream and I say to you, brother, I can't go on the stream,
Come on. Yeah.
I'm going to get a reaction out of you.
Yeah.
Now, if that reaction is, example, you say, no, brother, it's fine. It's fine. And you go on with the stream. I must understand, okay, wait, by T's reaction, is he actually saying, bro, but you can't actually do that, bro, 3 minutes before? Or is he really okay with it? So I have to have a conversation with you.
Sure. Yeah.
And like understand, you know, what does that do to you? If I don't communicate with you timeously, like, God forbid something crazy to happen, and literally 3 minutes before that, you can understand. But let's just say it's a normal thing. I just don't want to do the stream. No, I'm gonna get a different behavior from you.
Yeah. The behavior is gonna. Yeah.
It's gonna be different. It'll be like, Ash, come on, bro. Like we've been doing this. Like how can 3 minutes before the time we like set up already? So I have to be open to your response. I have to be open to you saying, bro, this is not on. Like this is not us. We don't do it like this.
Sure.
We are guys that speak in advance.
In advance. Yeah.
So I have to be open to your criticism. That's a meaningful relationship that I can now accept it, receive it, and be like, I understand why T's upset with me.
I see.
The same with that pair. If that thing reacts in an aggressive way, I must be open and say, hey, this is what you as the Swiss franc does.
Yeah.
It's consolidating, but this guy can quickly just
Exactly.
So that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I think the way you broke it down proper should make sense to the guys now.
Yeah. Hey guys, hopefully you guys are learning something here. Don't forget, me and T are we getting into it. So just subscribe and do the likes
100%.
and
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So, bro, last one here on my side.
Yeah.
The habit of patience. Patience, again, defined. People think patience is very general. Let me wait at the robot, not moving forward. It's still red. So some guys are impatient like that. So they'll move a little bit every time because they wanted to.
I know.
Yeah.
We've seen them.
We have seen
Plenty
those
of time.
plenty of times.
Yeah.
A supermarket, you're standing in a queue, you're looking, hey, this one is a bit long. I need to go to that one.
Sure.
Then you get there and that's a problem with the cashier. You should have stayed in that one,
And that one starts to move.
It starts to move. You are impatient, right? So there's different ways we can define patience.
Sure, yeah.
Patience in this sense is wait for your setup to show you the entry.
There we go. Just
Don't try to take the entry before the time. Buy zone, sell zone. If it's in the buy zone, the buyers are coming in, but it's not enough yet to push it to enter. So develop the patience to wait. Even if you wait a day, even if you wait 1 hour, even if you wait 1 week, as an example, which is very difficult to wait 1 week. And then you take the entry the next Monday.
Yeah.
That thing is difficult.
I mean, it can challenge your patience.
It will challenge your patience.
Yeah.
So, but if you know your charts, you understand in which zone it is, you know what candle you are looking for to break above or break below, then your patience will be more automatic because you understand why you are trying to enter.
You know, what you said, I always say it, you know, when someone says, I struggle with this and that, and then you can see, of course, we have a bit of experience, but through experience, we can see that you are impatient because of this, you have challenge because of this.
Yeah.
What you just said, I say it all the time, that the moment you understand what you see on the chart, then automatically you're going to be patient.
You're going to be patient for it.
The moment you understand this is a particular setup that plays out the particular pattern,
Yeah.
you will have patience to know, okay, I need to wait for this thing to do this before
Yeah.
I enter, because the probabilities now are high.
Yeah.
100%. Fully
I
agree.
also see it like, you know, all these calls that one would get if you owe a bank or something like
Yeah.
that, you know, you faltering on your insurance or whatever. These guys are not patient with you. When they call you, they'll give you 10 calls, and we have been there.
Yeah.
So for us, it's not only to highlight all the nice times we've had. For us, we know there's highs and lows.
Sure,
We have been there where these guys are calling, you don't want to answer. They don't want to answer. You don't want to answer. But they are not patient with you.
Yeah.
They will call you, and if they speak to you, the only thing they ask, when are you paying? I wish I could say that in Zulu, or I think it was or Xhosa. It will sound much better if I know.
They say it in those languages.
No. I'm saying if I knew how to translate it now in Zulu,
okay.
I would have, or Xhosa, I would have said it right now on this podcast because
Sure.
I don't know. I think it will just sound better. The only thing that they are looking for is the money. How would I say that? You know.
Okay, in my language, Setswana is there's many ways to ask it, but I think
They just want your money. Like how would you say that?
o tlo go patala leng. Yeah, o tlo patala leng, whatever that you owe.
That's it.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear about nothing else. It's just, when do you pay? Give me the date. Give me the amount. Are you arranging? Yes, I am arranging now. That date, that time, okay, 100%. Don't you want to do a debit order? No, I don't want to do a debit order because of ABCD. Okay, no, but that day. And when that day comes and you've not paid, they back again. No patience whatsoever for you. So there's no patience out there, but you must get into the habit of doing it for yourself.
Exactly.
So that you can enter at the right
Exactly,
time.
my man. Exactly. You know, trading boils down to patience. How patient are you?
Over
How
80%,
disciplined are you?
actually, over 80% is actually being patient.
My man.
Yeah.
That's how it is. We're always waiting. Most of the time we're waiting.
Yeah.
So that's the 5.
That's the 5
to
there.
adapt,
Yeah.
5 to get rid of. And you know, there's more, of course, that you can talk about. But I think these ones will then put them in the right position, a right place.
Yes.
For them to get started
Absolutely.
and just to continue.
Exactly. Because it's habits with what not to do with the strategy, habits what not to
Something
do
like
with a risk with risk management,
Yeah.
How not to trade support and resistance. What is the kind of habits you must get out of that? You know, so this is really, you're right. This is so many. But this is a nice umbrella, a nice overview.
Yeah.
I really hope you guys learned something here today.
Hope they did.
Yeah.
But you know what? The good thing about this is they can go back and rewind again.
Exactly. That's
You
it.
know,
Yeah.
take notes and all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hoping that everything made sense, guys. Hoping that you guys enjoyed. And yeah, that was the topic for today.
Yeah.
Listen to this, make it make sense to you. You know, I mean, try your best to understand it. And then, let's push forward.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point we can mention other ones at some point in other episodes. But for now, let's focus on these ones.
All right, guys. Always a pleasure, my brother.
Amen. Always. So you're going to be back again soon. Just follow us on all social media platforms. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you guys have any questions, care@tdmarkets.com.
Yes.
Or they can interact on our streams.
Absolutely.
Like your Opening Bell,
Exactly.
NFP, the trading rooms.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
100%. Man.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Catch you again.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.